The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our main site, www.xzoneradiotv.com. And don't forget, X-Zone Nation, you can go to the X-Zone store, and you can, buy the app for the... Android, and for the Kindle and Apple. I know, we're charging a whole lot of money, 99 cents. That's it. With that, you get all access to the radio shows, the TV segments, the X Chronicles newspaper. You get discount coupons. You get an RSS feed. You get a whole bunch of great things for whole 99 cents. And that's just a one-time purchase. Away you go. And you can also now go to the X-Zone Book Club and get past editions of the X Chronicles newspaper. Just go to X-Zone, thexzonestore.com. All the information is there. You know, X-Zone Nation, last week we were speaking about that Russian cyber gang that took, 1.2 billion usernames and passwords. Well, my guest this hour is Eric Schiffer, and he is chairman and CEO of Patriot Equity, digitalmarketing.com, and reputationmanagementconsultants.com. All of Eric's companies are armed and equipped with large digital security divisions. Joining me now is Eric Schiffer. And Eric, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show. This must be a very busy time for you folks in light of the 1.2 billion usernames and passwords. So thanks very much, and welcome to the X-Zone.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. It is a busy time between our clients and certainly the media that I've been, responding to, who are representing so many people around the world, whether it's in the United States or Canada or in the EU or in England, who have been affected by what has been one of the largest hacking jobs ever. And there are many people who are raising the specter of the fact that it could be and was Putin that was behind this, largely to retaliate on behalf of some of the moves that have gone on, driven by the EU and driven by the United States, and that raises a whole host of questions.
Well, let's look at it this way: if he shoots down planes, invade countries, why not cyber attacks?
Well, cyber is somewhat benign compared to some of those things, and and nothing goes on in Russia without Putin's fingertips or fingerprints on something, and so it certainly is logical to consider that, especially with additional data points suggesting that there were members of Putin's Secret Service involved in this, and that some of the people that he used to be involved with when he ran that that division, the KGB, were tied to this ring. These have not been confirmed, but certainly when you add up some of the circumstantial evidence, it raises questions that require further evaluation. This is something that many people don't even know that they've been hit, because typically the way this is done is it's done through a series of steps. One is when you download certain items, meaning it may be a free a program. It could be a calendar. It could be even a screensaver. It could be a mobile device, some kind of an app that's free. You can get hacked that way. The other way you can get hacked is if you have a password into a site. What they do is they then use that to determine where the vulnerabilities are in what's called the SQL, and that's a fancy term for basically how the database interacts with users. So most sites have a database which allows them to pull up your information, and there are vulnerabilities in the way that interaction occurs. And so they determine those vulnerabilities and then go and hack the actual site. So it was largely business sites that they were going after, but they used individuals and their passwords to get to it. And so one of the things you can do is you can go to several sites to determine whether or not you have been hacked, and I'll give those to your users, your listeners later in the show.
Sure.
And then, second, you can also change your passwords, and because if you weren't hacked here, there's a probability that you could be hacked in the future. And many people, surprisingly, have very simple passwords that if I told them to you, you'd be surprised. I mean,
Really?
One of the most popular passwords of the last year has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Eric, you and I have got to take a commercial break. Please stand by. Exonation Eric Schiffer is my special guest this hour. Here's a couple of websites. directmarketing.com and reputationmanagementconsultants.com. And Eric and I will be back on the other side of this 2-minute break. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation Eric Schiffer is our special guest this hour. He is chairman and CEO of Patriarch Equity, digitalmarketing.com, and reputationmanagementconsultants.com. All of his companies are armed and equipped with large digital security divisions. And Eric, before we went to the commercial break, we were talking about the Russian hackers, and kind of has Mr. Putin's fingerprints all over it. How hard was it for these guys to amass 1.2 billion? That's a lot of usernames and passwords.
It's a lot. It really is. I mean, you're talking 500 million email addresses, just a massive trove of stolen information, and the ability to get into so many different websites. And this is a gang that apparently is less than about a dozen people. Certain regions, especially Mongolia and Kazakhstan, house most of them, and largely in their 20s. I mean, these are young folks that were able to get access to these databases. And what's really sad is that so many people are totally unaware of it. And so one of the things that you certainly want to do is to do your homework, determine whether you've been hacked, change your password, as I said. There's a site called Have I Been? It's HAVEIBEEN, and then PWNED.com. And you can put in your email address, and they will let you know that whether you have ever been hacked based upon the major large-scale hacks that are in existence.
Wow. And that's free.
Yeah, that's a free site that you can go ahead and go to. So what I would also recommend is if you have been hacked, you certainly want to cancel your credit cards. You want to review your credit cards. You may even want to look into whether anyone has used your Social Security. You can pull credit reports, etc. And hopefully none of your listeners have had this happen, but to the extent that they have, those are the things that you're going to want to do.
Do you foresee at any time in the future where the threat of hacking will be eliminated?
It will be very difficult. I mean, there will come a time in which authentication will occur via iris and perhaps even a thumbprint that would happen. But these are years down the road, and in theory, someone could even copy that through video and through some other masking of information. So no, there will always be a cat and mouse game here. But there are things that you'll be able to do that will further protect you, and you can do that today. I mean, look, most major bank sites and even Google and Apple offer two-factor authentication. So I mean that's a much higher level. You can get into even greater levels of authentication, but most sites don't because it can be very difficult to manage.
Yeah, changing passwords, I can just hear people cringing, saying, "Oh, you gotta be kidding!" No.
Well, I can understand, especially if you've got 10 to 13 or 15 things that you're logging into. Another interesting data point, in terms of passwords, one of the second most used passwords in the last year is the word password.
Oh,
so be careful. These are not clever, the best passwords to use to protect yourself.
So what do these hackers do? Do they develop algorithms that go out and seek these vulnerabilities?
What they do is they create these botnets. So they what happens is what that means is that they inject software